spoke with Bill Gates for more than 40 minutes about the global fight against COVID-19 and what that means for future crises. Bill Gates, welcome to The Economist Asks. There is this big race around the world to develop a vaccine. You, the Gates Foundation, are playing a big role in this. Are we spending enough? And if not, why not?
Most of the work we're going to do to be ready for pandemic 2, I call this pandemic 1.
I mean, you mentioned keeping up social distancing. What could life look like, say, 6 months, a year from now? There's still some of these steps we're taking now, they would remain in effect?
Yeah.
And so let me start with Bill. Bill, you and I have had a lot of conversations during this pandemic, and you've always been able to level set me in a very truthful way about where we are. We spent some time with Dr. Fauci, who you know very, very well and who was on your podcast. I should also introduce Albert Bourla. Albert may no longer need an introduction either. He is the CEO of Pfizer. And I wanted to ask Heidi, if I could, a little bit about some of the projects that you're working on to try to get people to take the vaccine.
Let's talk about public trust. Steve Forbes and Mike Milken were talking about warp speed to get to a vaccine, but a vaccine is only so useful if people don't take it or don't trust it. What do we do about that?
It looks like almost all the vaccines are going to succeed.
So, are these vaccines safe?
What is your most hopeful time frame for how long we have to live the way we are now?
So what do we need to do right now in order to reopen the country to get back to, some sort of normalcy and sort of set a new normal, whatever the new normal is?
But what do you think we need to do from the ground up, from the people to the leaders to the private sector?
Well, the main tools we have right now are the behavioral change, the social distancing, which often means staying at home most of the time, and the testing capacity to identify who in particular needs to get isolated and then testing their contacts. Eventually, what we'll have to have is certificates of who's a recovered person, who's a vaccinated person.